how far we tip the scales our way, no matter how many of them we turn dark. Nothing seems to break their capacity for hope. To pass it back and forth like the flu at a preschool fair. We're losing, Lucifer. One bright star at a time, we're losing.
Now, there's new evidence of former U.S. Vice President Dick Cheney's involvement in a Pentagon program of targeted assassinations.
This is the hit order that he received under his, in a valise with his clothes was the hit order, and his instructions to report to, says, Ghostwalker, you are to report to the American Embassy in Budapest, Hungary. You will be received by S.A. Grey Wolf. As a unit, you will proceed to terminate ex-S.A. David T. Johnson. That's the hit order. And there's David T. Johnson. He was a Army Green Beret, staff officer in the American Embassy in Budapest.
Murdered.
Murdered.
By Conor O'Ryan.
By Conor O'Ryan, and his partner, they both put bullets in him. His partner was S.A. Grey Wolf.
Zoom in and you can see it's the CIA.
Conor O'Ryan was Ghostwalker. When they were on missions like that, they were not allowed to exchange names. He never knew who Grey Wolf was. He was in level 2 of S4 when he found a note under his pillow after he'd gone off shift. Report to his sergeant. The sergeant handed him an envelope and told him the car was waiting and they'd drive him to Las Vegas to the bus station. When he got to the bus station in Las Vegas, he knew, having done this before, that he would look for a key taped to the back of the locker. So he felt around the back of the locker, so he found a key taped there. It had the locker number. He opened the locker and took out a valise, a traveling valise, nice one, with a suit of clothes, shoes, socks, shirt, tie, and everything for business travel. And he put those clothes on and put his clothes back in the locker, his Marine clothes back in the locker, and took the bus down to Los Angeles and the airline ticket to Budapest. And had a schedule and everything else on, so somebody had already coordinated. He didn't have a long wait any place. The last one, the 18th one, when he was sent to Budapest, Hungary, he was paired with another CIA agent, or another agent like himself, who was another Special Forces troop. And they were given Hungarian clothes and Hungarian weapons and ammunition, shoes and everything to do it. Mugshots of their hit, and where he lived, maps of where he lived, his routes that he traveled, where he went to church, where he went to the grocery store and everything. And they took him out together, one on each side of his car. When he came out of the grocery store with his groceries, putting them in his car, they hit him from both sides with his 2 teenage kids in the car. And they put 7 or 8 bullets in him, and he died. See, and they just pocketed their weapons and walked away in the crowd. They looked like everybody else there. And they went back to the American Embassy, reported to the attaché, who gave them the clothes and the guns and the money. The attaché gave them their clothes, but traveling clothes back, and drove them to the airport, and they went home. Now that's what a mission was.
So essentially, who were these special hit squads, and who were they initiated by?
According to the people who spoke at the conference, they were known as Black Special Operations Forces, meaning covert. They operated in 59 countries, that was stated, and conducted 139 missions. Some of those missions were under the guise of training missions or counter-narcotics operations. 3 countries mentioned in particular: Uzbekistan, Bosnia, and the Philippines.
So was there a policy or maybe a loophole within a law that could have allowed the U.S. government to do this legally? I mean, how did they hide it for so long?
Well, one of the other things mentioned at the conference was that the Patriot Act gave some of these operations cover, even domestically, in a program called consequence management. So the question not only arises what these special ops teams were doing abroad, but what were they doing domestically, since they felt they had some sort of legal cover to operate within the United States.
There was a helicopter crash in the S4 area that he told me that the crash was that the government sacrificed an airplane to dispose of 6 people. And these are people that the government killed off in Area 51 for reasons of their own. And they sacrificed a helicopter, sabotaged the helicopter, and killed them all on it. 3 of these workers were targets. The rest of them were accidental victims.
Wrong place, wrong time.
Yeah.
Do they sometimes accident whole groups of people together like that?
I don't know. He told me one time he was on a hit was partnered with a Vatican hitman on a hit. I didn't know the Vatican had hitmen. Did you?